As Bitcoin prepares to break its previous all-time high, Cardano is still sitting over 25% from its all-time high. Is Cardano going to catch up to Bitcoin and make a massive move to the upside, or are we going to continue to consolidate? Hey guys, my name is Mesh, hope you're doing well, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Cardano charts, and I'm going to be showing you this insane pattern on the macro charts. We're also going to be taking a look at the story that Cardano is painting for us on the zoomed out charts because it looks a lot different than what you see when you zoom in. Before we get into the video, I want to remind you to hit that like button. Also hit subscribe if you want to see more Cardano and technical analysis videos like this one. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first thing that I want to take a look at is this chart right here, a blank 4-hourly zoomed out Cardano chart. You'll notice I have no trend lines drawn, literally nothing. It's just a completely blank chart, and that's where I want to start. And the first thing that I want to show you guys, although this chart looks incredibly messy, there is something very important to take away from this chart, and that is that we are getting higher lows. So you can see we had a low down here. We had another low over here. We had another low over here, which we have yet to break, and another low right here, and you can count last night's giant wick to the downside as another low. And although Cardano isn't making a massive move to the upside that we all want, we're not seeing a massive breakout, we are getting a macro bullish pattern, and we are ultimately trending upwards. And you can see that we have not set a lower low so far. So this is generally, although not a massive breakout to the upside, an upwards trend on the macro charts. And that's really where I want to start. And you'll also notice that Cardano is sitting above its 21-day moving average. Let me just get this out of the way. And its 50-day moving average. And you can see last night when we had that giant wick to the downside, we respected that 21-day. Sure, we wicked beneath it for a few minutes, but ultimately that is where we held support. So the fact that Cardano is still above that 21-day and that 50-day is just a really macro bullish thing. And at the same time, we are still setting higher lows. And so although Cardano, like I said, is not breaking to the upside, this chart really is quite bullish and is not the kind of chart that we would expect to see in a giant macro reversal chart to the downside. So that is not the picture that Cardano is painting for us in the medium term. Now we can draw a trend line to basically represent these higher lows. So you can see this red line right here is that trend line that's basically supporting Cardano on the way up. So you can see here we had resistance, and here we found support, 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 support. And this is an ascending trend line because the lows here are getting higher like I mentioned. And at the same time, you'll also notice that we are getting lower highs. And so you can see we got a high here, and I will get to this in just a moment. But ultimately, I'm going to ignore this for now, and I'll get right back to it. But we can count this as another high here and another high here. And if we draw a descending trend line here, we get a symmetrical triangle. And this is generally a continuation pattern, meaning it breaks out in the direction of the general trend, which is obviously bullish. Now granted, there is a possibility for a breakout to the downside, which I'll get into in just a second. Now you're probably wondering, why did I completely skip this move right here to the upside? I mean, it's clearly on the chart, so we cannot skip it. And the reason I am disregarding this right here is because this is a textbook fake out of this symmetrical triangle. And the reason why I drew this as a symmetrical triangle rather than an ascending triangle like this where we would have a resistance at $1.50 is because this would perfectly explain our resistance here at $1.28. And this move right here is actually a fake out of this ascending triangle. And fake outs happen all the time where it looks like we're about to break a pattern, but ultimately we get rejected right back into the pattern. Given this descending level of resistance here, and this macro ascending level of support, we get a symmetrical triangle. And there are two possibilities for this symmetrical triangle. Either it breaks upwards or it breaks downwards, and there are targets for both possibilities. So if we just take the move here, Generally, to get the breakout for an ascending triangle, you would take the height of the triangle at the start of the triangle. So if we find a break to the upside, that would actually put Cardano at $1.86. Now, granted, I cannot ignore the downside possibility. And although this is a continuation pattern, meaning it breaks in the direction of the general trend, which is upwards, there is always a possibility for a downside breakout. And if we do break to the downside, that would actually put us at 51 cents. So again, it's not like 51 cents is impossible. I don't think that we're going to get there. I think that is quite a bearish move, and I think it's extremely unlikely, but that is a possibility. We've seen that happen with Ethereum in previous bull cycles, where it has giant moves to the downside as big as this one, and that would actually be a 57% drop, which is actually not unheard of in the crypto space. But like I said, it's more likely for this pattern to break to the upside because it generally is a continuation pattern and the trend is to the upside. I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. We are above all major levels of resistance on the Cardano chart. And I'm talking about that 50-day moving average. I'm talking about the 21-day moving average, which is an incredibly strong area of resistance. As you can see right here, we basically struggled to get above it the entire time. And we're also above $1.16, which proved to be an insane level of resistance where we continuously got rejected from it. So we're above all that. And then now you're probably wondering what's left. And all that's left is this area of resistance here where we got rejected at about $1.23. And really the entire area between $1.20 and $1.25 is an area of resistance. And you can see we got rejected here, 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 and once again here between $1 and $1.25. And so I believe that once we clear that insane level of resistance between $1.20 and $1.25, Cardano is very likely to break out of this ascending triangle to the upside. Now there is another chart that we really have to pay attention to, and it is actually more important than the Cardano USD chart, and that is the Cardano Bitcoin chart. And I actually drew this level of support here. Again, another ascending level of support. And this is a ginormous level of support here on the super macro time frame. So you can see Cardano has basically been bouncing off this level throughout the entirety of the bull run. And we actually just broke beneath it. And I really did not expect that to happen. I thought we would hold this level of support since it's such a long and macro level of support. But I cannot deny that in the short term, we have actually broken beneath that level of support. And that is definitely not a good thing. That's a bearish thing. And we might actually find resistance coming up. So not too long ago, I said that Cardano was holding the 21-day moving average on the Cardano Bitcoin chart. And you can see it was holding it for quite some time, but then it got rejected from it. And then Cardano held the 50-day, and once again, it got rejected from it. And then finally, we broke beneath this insanely strong level of support here that we've been tracking for so long. And I really did not expect that to happen. When we were above the 21-day, I thought that the 21-day would act as support and we would not break beneath it. And then once we broke beneath the 21-day, I thought that the 50-day would hold for sure. And again, we broke beneath the 50-day. And then finally, I was looking at this ascending level of support to hold Cardano up. And once again, Cardano failed to hold that level. And what does all of this mean? I think it means something very simple that we all already knew, and that is that Bitcoin is stealing the show. Bitcoin is having an insane rally right now and is preparing to break its all-time high, and altcoins are really just stalling and watching Bitcoin. And that is very visible from this chart right here, where Cardano continues to just fall on the Cardano Bitcoin chart. And we've seen this over and over again, where Bitcoin has a massive move to the upside and the altcoins don't really keep up. Instead, they just trade sideways and even plummet relative to Bitcoin. And what usually tends to happen in scenarios like this is once Bitcoin finally consolidates and gives the altcoins room to breathe, they usually come back and catch up with Bitcoin and their Bitcoin valuations increase. And like I said, I was not expecting this chart to break all major levels of support, but that's what happens when Bitcoin has a momentous move to the upside. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Also make sure to hit subscribe. and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.